Friends, we left off in the Untouchables, Chapter 1. She was in the office with no one to register, and she has that scheduling mistake. At the top it says, Elias, Parker, grade 8. This is Parker McFarmer's schedule. It must have gotten mixed up on my papers when we gathered up all my stuff. I take 3 steps back in the direction of the office and freeze. I don't want to face that secretary again. There's no way she's going to register me without Stepmonster. And if there's a backlog at the pediatrician's and I'm going to be sitting in this dumb chair all day, no thanks. I weigh my options. It's only a 15-minute walk home, but home really isn't home, and I don't want to be there any more than I want to be here. If I went to all the trouble of waking up and getting ready for school, then school is where I might as well be. My eyes return to Parker's class schedule. Room 117. Okay, it's not my class, but hey, it's a class. And really, who cares? It's not like I'm going to learn anything in the next 2 months, at least nothing I can't pick up when I get back to civilization. I'm a pretty good student, and when Stepmonster finally gets here, they can page me and send me to the right place. Not that I'll learn anything there either. I've already learned the one lesson that Greenwich Middle School has to teach me. 14-year-olds should not drive. That's when I learned lesson number 2. This place is a maze. My school in LA is all outdoors, and you step out of class and you're in glorious sunshine. You know where you're going because you can see across the quad. And the numbers make sense. Here, 109 is next to 111, but the room next to that is labeled Storage Closet E61-B2. Go figure. I ask a couple of kids who actually try to tell me that there's no such room as 117. There has to be, I tell the second guy. I'm in it. And I show him the schedule, careful to cover up the name with my thumb. Wait, what? And he points to the class description. SCS 8? I blink. Instead of a normal schedule where you go to a different class every period, this says Parker stays in room 117 all day. Not only that, but under subject, it repeats the codes SCS-8 for every hour except for lunch, which is at 12:08. Oh, here it is. I skipped to the bottom, where there's a key explaining what the codes mean. SCS-8, self-contained special 8th grade class. He stares at me. The Unteachables? Unteachables? He reddens. You know, like the Untouchables? Only these kids aren't untouchable. They're just, well, unteachable. Bye! And he rushes off down the hall. And I just know. I could read it in his face, but I didn't even need that much information. Where would you stick a guy who could annihilate a backpack with a half-ton pickup truck? The Unteachables are the dummy class. We have a couple of groups like that in my middle school in California, too. We call them the Disoriented Express, but it's the same thing. Probably every school has that. I'm going to stop for a minute and just say that it is not respectful to call groups of people names that are derogatory. That does not fit with our standards at STEM. I almost march back to the office to complain when I remember I've got nothing to complain about. Nobody put me in the Untouchables, just Parker. From what I've seen, hey, he's in the right place. I picture myself sitting in the office all day waiting for Stepmonster to arrive. If she arrives. Chauncey's health scares, which happen roughly every 8 minutes, stress her out to the point where she can't focus on anything else. To quote Dad, "Geez, Louise." He really says that as an example of the sense of humor of the non-California branch of my family. So I go to room 117. Turns out it's in the far corner of the school, over by the metal shop, the home and the careers room, and the custodian's office. You have to walk past the gym, and the whole hallway smells like old sweat socks mixed with a faint barbecue scent. It's only temporary, I remind myself. And since my whole time in Greenwich is temporary anyway, it's more like temporary squared. Besides dummy class, disoriented express, unteachables, so what? Okay, maybe they're not academic superstars, but they're just kids, no different from anybody else. Even Parker. He's a menace to society behind the wheel of a truck, but besides that, he's a normal 8th grader like the rest of us. Seriously, how unteachable can these unteachables be? I push open the door and walk into room 117. A plume of smoke is pouring out of the single open window. It's coming from the roaring fire in the wastebasket in the center of the room. A handful of kids are gathered around it, toasting marshmallows, skewered on the ends of number 2 pencils. Parker is one of them, his own marshmallow blackened like a charcoal briquette. An annoyed voice barks, "Hey, shut the door! You want to set off the smoke detector in the hall?" Oh my God, I'm with the Unteachables. We'll start chapter 2 next.